All right. What's up, you guys? You are watching Real Talk TV, and I am live. All right. So I'm just waiting a little bit, you guys. Welcome to the room. When you come in, please hit the like button. If you are watching this on replay, hit the like button. Show me some love. I do this for you. I do this for the culture. I do it for my people. So please hit the like button, share this video so we can have some real conversations. Um, when you come in, let me know how you doing. What's up? What's up? Um, Tonight we're going to be tonight. Here we go again, y'all. Today, this morning, we're going to be talking about the real secret on building generational wealth, long-lasting wealth within the Black community. You're not going to always like what I have to say, and that's okay. That's why we have discussions. We talk about it, and sometimes the truth is hard to accept. It's hard to hear, but you need it. Sometimes we need it. So I look forward to this live. Um, Let me see. Before I begin, and y'all know I cannot sing, but I always love to try. Um, all right. And if you are watching the replay, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. I don't care what the comment says. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me how your day was, how you feeling, if you enjoyed the video, something. Let me know that you are able to enjoy the live in some capacity that it benefits you. All right, and so our guest host, Ivy Revined, will be coming up. I want to say my regular host, but she has her own channel, growing her own brand. All right, here we go. Let me get the link. Where's that at? Invite. Okay. Give me 1 second, Ivy. I'm slow at this. All right, that should be it. All right, the link is the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. What's up? What's up? Welcome. Y'all know how it goes here on Real Talk TV. This is not a visual channel yet. It will be very soon, but it is not a visual channel. We talk about what it is, whatever the topic is. So just be mindful of that. It's like a radio. Think of it as a radio. Okay. What's up? What's up, Ivy? How are you?
Hey, beautiful, back at it again. What we
You
doing
know
here?
it. Part
What?
two.
Part two. Okay. It's time to build. Okay. This is about building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just love any channel who wants to come in, any regular person who wants to come in and discuss real change in the community. It's time to build on that. It's time to build
That's
on the
right.
discussion. Even if you have, opposition in terms of your thought process,
That's right.
say it so we can build upon it, right? Because no real change can happen unless it is discussed. Okay. And people also need to start talking about it and be about it, right? So let's talk about change, right? Let's talk about getting there as a people, right?
Right. We talk about it here, but the goal is to use that language that we created, verbalizing it, and then putting it to action.
Yes,
So before we
indeed.
get into it, please subscribe to Ivy Revined on YouTube. She is a codependency coach. Uh, so far, she's the best that I've known. And she also has a website, and that is CoachIvyRevined.com. Please check her out and subscribe to her channel.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
No problem.
I love it. I love it. So how are you feeling today?
Listen, today I'm ready for this part two. I'm going to be honest. I'm
I
ready
love it.
to really start talking about specific ways in which we can move forward because
Mm,
simply, watching other people just babble about nothing, where is it going? So,
yes.
it's time.
Right.
It's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time.
It's
All
time.
right. So I put in the title, the real secret to building Black wealth, right?
Right. Right.
Um, the real secret. We are
Right.
always, or most of the time, on the same page.
That's
Tell
right.
me what the real secret to building Black wealth is, Ivy Revine.
Okay. So, I mean, yesterday I did say that, I mean, I was trying to touch on matters of perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is true, right? So let's say you want to build wealth for your family, right? You have to first you have to self-actualize what is wealth for you,
There you
right?
go.
But let's be literal about wealth. Let's be literal about generational wealth, right? So generational wealth is something that you can pass down to your children. Usually, usually it's combined with a set of skills, right? It's combined with a set of skills. Some people pass down a business. Some people pass down real estate. Some people pass down stock market, right? And finance education. They pass some people set up their children to be financially literate, right? So if you set up your children to be financially literate, you put them in a position where they could create wealth for themselves, right? So with that being said, the question remains, it's a question. The question is, what do you have to pass down? Right? What set of skills do you have to pass down? What is your purpose and what is your passion to be able to pass this down? So that at least if you're not really wealthy at the moment, right? That you can put your children in a position to where they can become wealthy, and in turn that is passed down from their generation. So we have to find our purpose. And a lot of people, right, are not understanding what their purpose is. So as a community, especially in the African American community, a lot of us are getting rich. Okay? A lot of us are getting rich. We're getting rich
That's
in
right.
so many different ways. Now you could get rich on social media. You could get rich by way of, being an artist, right? You could just have a talent, and that can make you rich. But is that transferable, right? Is that
Mm.
are you buying real estate? Are you buying stock markets? Are you opening a business so that your children can actually just jump into that, something that you can teach them, and then you set them up for generational wealth? A lot of us are not doing that. So a lot of us, that richness dies with us. We might have enough money to leave our children some money, right? And they can spend that in the course of a year. You can leave your children $100,000 and they can spend that in the course of a year if you didn't teach them to be financially literate,
And
right?
responsible, financially
It's
responsible as well.
responsible. Yes. So we have to work. And the reason why I go, my goal in the community is to work on our childhood traumas. My goal in the community is to work on our mindset. My goal in the community is to work on, pretty much finding your purpose, right? So, because if you
Mhm.
get past what stops you from creating generational wealth, right? You find that part of you not being wealthy is part of your own parents, their childhood traumas. You could look as far back as your grandparents or great grandparents and what have they done for themselves. And you find that you have not generational wealth, but generational curses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we could put ourselves past or get past those generational curses, so we can open up our heart chakras, we can open up our mindsets to the possibility of becoming financially wealthy to pass down to our children. So we have to work on ourselves before we can even discuss the topic of wealth.
That's right. That's right. There was a term you used yesterday. Let me see. Um, because we were also talking about, how can we gain wealth? How can we
Yes,
gain this thing called power in this
yes,
game, right? In this race.
yep,
And one thing we talked about was independence. Part
yes,
of building wealth and maintaining it is independence or
that's right.
autonomy.
Yes,
So
yes,
um I, the college student in me, I really wanted to understand what autonomy meant. Like, we hear
mhm,
it, we know we've learned it at some point, and
mhm,
unless you use this word frequently, unless you are, in a field where this term is a part of your everyday language, um, you can kind of lose the definition, the true definition of autonomy.
okay, hmm,
Um, and so what I found was part of autonomy is claiming almost all independence,
hmm,
having your own ability to govern,
hmm,
having
that's
your
right,
own ability, not using another system outside of the one in your community.
right,
Um, a way to do that. I mean, if you look at American history, independence was claimed partially because autonomy, the ability to, to say this is mine, having other groups acknowledge your
yes,
independence,
yes, absolutely,
having
that's
other
right.
groups acknowledge it. What is a way that we as Black people in this country can formulate wealth in a way that other cultures, other races, other nations, um, the culture within this, to the other cultures within this nation, can recognize our autonomy? I know that's a loaded question. Oh, Ivy. Uh-oh, we lost Ivy. I'll wait a few minutes. Uh-oh. So so the question I asked was, how can we uh-oh, she dropped down. It's all right. I I guess she had to go. But how can we be, oh, okay. Every time I go to talk, add to the stream.
You
Okay.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was about to go off. Okay, now I was about to go off. I
So
don't
it was
even
a
know.
very loaded question, and
It
we
was.
can take bits of it for now.
Yes. Let me start by saying this. Sometimes we have to make separations from individual to community. The reason why I say that is this:
Okay.
until you can self-govern yourself, right? And I said that in terms of self-governing. Autonomy is a process of understanding your own principles, your own belief, values, and things like that, right?
Mhm.
And standing firmly, and like you said, you're absolutely right about that, setting the bar for yourself, you standing outside of not just maybe your community at first, but maybe your family structure, right? You're not
Mhm.
you're not you're not giving yourself or submitting to what would be that family curse or that toxicity and that family unit, right? You self-govern, you take yourself outside of that unit, and then you start the process of understanding your own belief systems, your values, and your principles that you stand on, right? Because I can't do nothing for a community if I'm suffering. I can't do anything for a community. That's why none of us get together as a community. It's simply hard for us to get together as a community because we're still suffering from our childhood traumas, right? Let me give you an example. I want to really make this clear. I had a women's group, right? I had a women's group that I was a part of. It was a great women's group. And we were supposed to collaborate together, right, to build pretty much a brand, right, regarding something in film so that we can bring out, documentaries on history and things of that nature, right? Mm-hmm. From my assumption, it was a lot of very powerful, strong-willed women in this group, right? They all had something to bring to the table, their own individual talents to the group. Let me tell you what happened to this group, okay? One woman came in, she wanted to be a diva, right? She said, who's going to run this group? I'll run it. I got more experience. The other woman was like, oh, no, well, you know what? Why she got to run the group? I mean, I have more experience in this area, right? You got 2 or 3 people, you got 2 or 3 women who were codependent and they didn't know how to speak up for themselves. So they were jumping fences between some of the power struggles within that group. Here I'm trying to be the voice of reason and talk to people on different ends of the aisle. And before you know it, the group never started, but it stopped before it started. You understand? And until everybody was willing to sit down with their own personal demons or their own personal traumas, because when you think about it, why would you walk into any structure, any group and say, I'll run a show? How do you know you can? Any great leader is willing to be taught, right? Any great leader is willing to sit in the back of the aisle and see where they can add their own skill set
and observe.
Correct. Right. Correct. So most of these women were dealing with their childhood traumas, and although they had their own skill sets, and a lot of them were rich. This is what I'm talking about, being individually rich. A lot of them had businesses. A lot of them started from a ground up working on something and starting a platform from somewhere, but they couldn't get together as a community. They couldn't get together because this is where their triggers began. They can't work with people. They can't work with people. So this is what's happening in our community. Although a lot of people have a lot of skill sets and a lot of things to offer, a lot of information, a lot of people are smart. A lot of people are looking into history. There's a lot of conscious leaders. There's a lot of people who know things about businesses. And a lot of people are trying to find a way to build generational wealth. But if they get in a group of people and they have to share this skill set to build a community, it falls before it starts. Now, what's the problem? What's the problem? That has to be discussed. Why a group of people can't get together and first work on their own individual self-governing.
That's right. And then bring that together. You don't hear exactly. You don't hear many cultures talk about a specific leader in order to move forward.
Right.
They make sure that they are playing their part, and it's a larger, and then combine it with a larger purpose. Right. But first, they work on themselves individually.
Yes.
With the obviously the backdrop is for a more cohesive goal.
Yes. But if the goal is passion, if everyone share the same goal and it's a passionate goal, we can certainly get together and work with each other. You know, another example is how we sit.
You going in and out. Ivy, you going in and out. Well, now I can't even hear you. It might just be a connection situation because it is starting to rain here where I am. So it might just be you might have to get closer to a window. If you have to, you can drop down and come right back up. You can drop down and come right back up if you still having trouble. So or just interject if you get that situated. But so like Ivy was saying, absolutely, you want to work on your individual self. You can't tell people I'm here to heal the world. I'm here to heal my community. I'm here to heal you others. To fix our problem. If you haven't already fixed your problem, if you want to be wealthy in the this generalized, stereotypical wealthy, having money to be able to, um, have a certain type of vehicle, live a certain lifestyle. You can't make that promise if you haven't figured out what the purpose of having that was for. What was it for? Was it just to say that I have it? Or are you trying to build something greater? And if you're trying to build something greater, you cannot do it by leading alone. It's just not going to work, because now the success of the movement is contingent upon your success. And we all know individuals let us down. And that's human. That's just the human experience, and that's okay. But what you don't want to focus on individuals, one person being your leader, being the way to build in order to achieve what it is you want to achieve. One thing I would say for building Black wealth, right, is independence. What does independence look like? What does independence look like? Um, Ivy is really good on focusing on you, the individual. What do you need to work on? What do you need to work on in order to contribute to the growth of the people? Are you ready to contribute? If you haven't worked on yourself, if you haven't been able to heal whatever it is that you need to heal in order to get there, for instance, you can't say, I want to teach a class about becoming a millionaire. I'm going to show people how to become a millionaire, to make $1 million. But you yourself have not achieved that goal, or haven't been efficient in achieving that goal. You have to first work on you. That's the purpose of this. The secret to building Black wealth is working on you, working on the individual, so that the collective, if every individual within the collective worked on themselves before trying to heal everyone else, that is how you build a strong foundation for Black wealth. Come up with a plan. Find out what first of all, find out what the overall objective is. Find out where you fit in that objective. And it could be multiple people in that space. You bring in others who fill in the gaps. We don't need a leader, one individual person putting all, what did you say? Put all your eggs in one basket. If you look at history, listen to what I'm saying, you guys. We have to also put in the research, and you have to really start digging into history, finding out what worked, what didn't work. The reason the United States continues to be the United States is it stood on diplomacy. It stood on the ability to allow everyone to have a say in the process, right? Every vote counts. That is what allows the United States to continue with being looked at it from other countries as a great nation. That is why it's able to thrive, because created an objective. It had an objective, and it met its objective in in the um in the way that it was able to say, I want to be independent from the country. And let's say, we're using the country as an example. I want to be independent of a country, which means I have to make sure that my shit here, me, and everything around me is sustainable without that other country. Are we there yet? Is our community sustainable without any other? Without, if let's say today or tomorrow we lose the Chinese stores, we lose the Korean hair salon, I think they Vietnamese or Filipino, we lose those nail salons, we lose the supermarkets, we lose transportation, we lose the public school system. Can we sustain everyday life? Not just survive but thrive without those systems. If we cannot, then we still need work to do. So first things first, financial literacy, understanding what it is that you want, understanding what it is that means wealth to you, that what is wealth to you. Once you figured out what wealth is to you, then you can move forward. And you can move forward into finding out your purpose, building upon your purpose, finding others whose goals are similar, and working with those individuals not as followers to a leader, but as a organized team of individuals. And you cannot do any of this without first dealing with your own problems, with your own issues, with your own generational curses. Then remember, you want to fix the individual child. And that can come in two ways, because there are, we harbor the pain of our ancestors. We harbor the pain of what they went through. We harbor the pain of what we know is systematic racism. We know it, we see it, we feel it, we experience it. But if you truly want to move forward, you have to heal. And part of healing is forgiving. That's probably the hardest thing to building Black wealth, is forgiveness. And I'm not saying equality. I'm not saying kiss anybody's feet. I'm not saying bow down or any of that. But you have to go in with a pure heart, not for anyone else, but for you. You cannot move in what it is you want to accomplish through revenge, because now you're allowing those people to dictate what your goal is. You want to make your goal. You want to set it. You're allowing them to determine what your purpose is. And then again, then you move forward and you take your time on what it is that you want to do. Building Black wealth. Building Black wealth requires a lot of self-discipline and selflessness. If you don't have selflessness, if you don't have self-discipline, you'll only be rich. And that'll only last for your 1 or 2 generations, not even a whole generation. We want wealth. And if you want real wealth, it comes in the form of more than just money. It's not just monetary. Wealth is more than just monetary. You want wealth of education And the only way to do it is to get the schools. You have to get schools, right? But how can I get a school if I'm not literate enough to understand what is important as a part of education? Let me see. Okay. All right, give me one. Well, the link should be there. If you can't see it, I'll put it back up. Um, but we're getting ready to wrap it up. I'm gonna let Ivy get on real quick so that she can close out. But I just want you to guys to understand. Um, I'm giving you the secret to Black wealth. No finance person can tell you this without really digging down. Black wealth isn't monetary only. In fact, the beginning stages of Black wealth are mental, spiritual. The beginning stages of building Black wealth are spiritual, mental. The stages of Black wealth are mental. Oh, I hear me. The beginning stages of building Black wealth are spiritual, mental. The stages of Black wealth are mental. Oh, I hear me.
You hear me?
I can hear you, but I can also hear myself.
Okay, let me make sure. Okay,
turn that other thing down. Yeah.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Maybe okay, I know what happened. Hold on. I had to go into my sorry. You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I had to go into my computer. It looked like my phone just said bye-bye. I'm sorry about that. So yes, I do apologize. I definitely want to also apologize to anyone who's going to hear this going forward about my internet issues.
It happens. We fine.
Yes.
I just wanted.
I lost a piece of a lot what you were saying, so you wanted to give me a question to close out with, and then I will definitely jump in.
Okay, I'll give you a little recap of what I was saying. And that was simply that Black wealth, if you want it, you have to, to go through these points. Yes. Building financial literacy and responsibility, finding your purpose, fixing your individual traumas, healing from those traumas, and forgiveness is really big, because a lot of times we think of fixing or doing something because in a form of revenge, in a way to get back at this oppressive system. But that to me says that we have and continue to carry the very dark trauma, the very what you call what do you call them? We are carrying a burden of our ancestors that needs to be let go.
Yes.
And that's part of self-identity, understanding who you are. You really have to dig deep. You have to dig deep within yourself. And so that's kind of what I was talking about. Closing question, or statement, I guess, that you can maybe expand upon is, once individuals have worked on and done the work to really start asking these questions about what truly is wealth, because I said the beginning stages of wealth and building Black wealth are spiritual. They're not monetary at all. What would you say to that? Uh-oh. Did we lose her again? Yes, we did. I do apologize, you guys, if you are watching on the replay. Ivy is definitely having some technical difficulties, but The message is clear. All you have to do is do your due diligence. The message is clear. The question I'm going to pose to you all is, what do you have? What do you have? And that was the question that Ivy posed as well. Figuring out what it is you yourself have. If you want to build Black wealth, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you a single parent? Have you left your children? If you've left your children, you just destroyed exactly what it is you're attempting to create. If you've abandoned them, if you've abandoned the mother, if you've walked out on the father to be a single parent, if you have no children and you're capable, physically capable of having children, that's part of becoming or building. Who are you building for? How can you want anything wealth building if you have nothing to build for? You have an apprentice if you have no children. Who is it for? What is your purpose in doing it? So yeah, that's your homework, is to find out what it is you want to do. Have you developed financial literacy? Have you healed yourself? Healed yourself. You have an alcohol problem. You have a drug abuse problem. If you struggle with interacting with others because of those childhood traumas, maybe you were isolated. Deal with those issues first, and then get back to me. I don't mean get back to me as in don't say anything at all. I mean actually get back to me. Post in the comments of this video and let me know what it is you want to work on so that we can get started on building Black wealth as you say you want to do. All right, you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I will be back tomorrow morning on a new topic. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with as many people as you possibly can. Put in the comments what it is you want to hear for next time, or in the future, for future videos, what topics you want to discuss. You can also send me a message on forthecause.u@gmail.com. That's FORTHE for the cause @gmail.com. For the cause.u, excuse me, .you. For the cause.u@gmail.com. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.